What'd you do for Easter?
I stayed home.
Did you?
I didn't get back in here with that till Saturday.
Oh, yeah.
And so 7 days straight of driving, so I just relaxed, tried to get some rest.
Phoenix was good?
Phoenix was hot.
Yeah.
It was 89.
Absolutely.
It's supposed to be 99 the next day.
In Phoenix?
Yeah. But I got out of there.
Yeah, no kidding, right?
It was 89 was hot enough.
Yeah.
Too hot.
Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Marathon Mondays with Mal. What are we, Todd? Episode 111? 112. Oh, my goodness. Episode 112, and we're back with Dave Bash, the co-host of Marathon Mondays with Mal. Dave's been on the road many times, doing lots of deliveries, doing lots of pickups. In fact, we were just chatting before going live, talking about he was down in Phoenix, right?
Well, I drove a coach to Tennessee.
Oh, that's right.
And they flew me from Tennessee to Phoenix to pick up this coach and bring it back up here.
1031.
1031 I drove.
1031, our good
Tennessee.
friend 1031 sold, so congratulations to the new owners of
Right.
1031.
They're pretty happy with it.
Oh, that's great. And Dave delivered that out in Tennessee, and then you headed on over to Phoenix and,
Yep.
and picked up 985?
959.
959. I'm a little before than 59. There you go. 959. We're going to get into that. We'll drive around and I'll show it. I know I teased it on the Marathon Mondays Facebook page. So if you haven't gone and liked that yet, go to Marathon Mondays with Mal on Facebook. Search that and like it because we got a lot of content going on that. We are, for episode 112, I saw Dave walking around. I said, hey, let's jump in a brand new marathon and go for a drive. So we got Todd and Mickey with us this morning.
He caught me.
I caught him. And we're going to talk about a little bit of drivability, a little bit about the coach, a little about Marathon's new building, Coach 1297, which we are in. And so let's drive around a little bit. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to leave the hazards off because it gives that tick-tick-ticking sound. But it is our company policy to always have that on for safety when we're on the property. But because we are in the filming and we're in the coach, I'm going to take that off. Everything's adjusted, mirrors are adjusted. I've checked everything. We are clear, we are running. Foot on the brake and off we go. Hope everyone had a good Easter weekend. Dave, you were coming back from Phoenix, but what'd you do for Easter, everybody? Dave, what'd you do?
I was, after driving straight for 7 days, I just tried to relax and catch up on some rest.
Yeah, that's a lot of travel. What a beautiful morning here in Coburg. We're going to drive around the building. Was talking, what should we do this morning for Marathon Mondays? And way back in episode 3, Dave was driving and talking about the drivability, and there's over 50,000 people that have watched that video, Dave, and so I thought, well, let's see what we can do. Drive around the building a couple of times, hit the horn, and just drive around. Dave, you just got off the road. You drive these a lot. I'm going to put you on the spot and ask a question that you and I have not really talked about before.
So things haven't changed.
Things have not changed. So tell me this, you drive a lot, but when you get into a marathon, a Prevost coach built by Marathon, after driving so much, what still stands out to you? Is there anything that stands out still that surprises you or you enjoy about driving the coach?
Yeah. I worked in several other RV places before I came to work for Marathon, in mostly fiberglass products. And the one I just got back, 959, I just brought it back in Saturday.
Right.
And it drove so quietly. All these Marathon coaches are just very, very quiet and smooth and solid.
And that coach is
driving.
a 12-year-old,
Yeah.
a 12-year-old consignment. So I know that we'll be doing a video on that. If you want to get a good teaser, Todd, there is 1291's trailer that we're going to be doing an episode on. Don't want to show too much of that, but there it is. When we're done here, we're all going to shoot a pre-recorded episode for all of you guys to see on that trailer.
It's pretty sharp looking.
Oh boy! Along with the coach, it'll look fantastic. Okay, so the drivability of that 12-year-old Marathon,
Yeah.
it just drove great.
It drove really well, good power, and it was one of the quietest coaches I've driven. I mean, they're all pretty quiet, but that was an exceptionally quiet coach.
Wow.
So.
Well, and you mentioned it. You worked for you worked for some RV companies.
Yeah.
One thing that we talk a lot about here is the difference between an RV and there's a 1291 in the wash bay getting ready for us to shoot that episode.
Yeah.
We talk about a lot the difference between an RV and the Prevost chassis, and the RVs have basically a stainless steel, surgical stainless bottom, and then the sides and the caps are put on later.
Like that one right there.
Yes.
It's probably a Gillig chassis, but it's built up from the frame.
From the frame, so
Yeah.
it's got a
It's not as solid.
right, and the fully welded, for the lack of a better term, cage of a Prevost chassis is not designed to move with the road. It stays rigid, and that's something you see on the road a lot. And I know it's old hat to you, but for me and for the viewers and people that are going to be marathon owners, people that are currently marathon owners, we like to talk about the Prevost chassis and why it's so important to have the rigidity within the chassis.
Right.
What a great morning here.
It's pretty nice.
It is. So speaking of the coach that you just drove in, we're going to drive around the building one more time. 959?
959.
959. 959 right there, 2006.
Windows.
Should I bring that up so we can
Be less noise.
see less noise? There it is right there in front of us. We're going to be doing a video on that one pretty soon. That's a consignment that's just coming in. That's the one that Dave just drove in from Phoenix. Good looking coach.
Very nice coach.
So Dave, you're going to put that, because it's a new consignment to Marathon, you're going to put it through the paces of a pre-delivery inspection.
Right. And do a PDI on it. Make sure it's in good shape before it goes up on the front line for sale.
That's great. How long does a PDI usually take you, Dave?
Depends on how many times I get interrupted.
That's right. Like, hey, let's do Marathon Mondays.
I like giving Mal a bad time, so.
I deserve it.
Yes, you do.
That's right.
But yeah, if I'm left alone, it'll take me a day and a half to do a full PDI on a coach.
Sure.
But that usually doesn't happen. So 2 to 3 days.
Gotcha. 1241 right here, quad slide, 2014 H3. That's a beautiful coach.
That's
Dave and
5 years old.
Yeah, it's only 5 years old. Very low miles. This is a beautiful coach. I love that copper color with the black and the silver and gray.
Orange.
You think it's orange?
Yeah, some of the stripes are.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I won't mislead you and think it's all copper. There's a lot of orange in there, but I love it. Inside there's a beautiful tile inlay in the floor when you walk into the salon. And something you brought up this morning, there is a brand new sleeper sofa.
Full sleeper sofa.
Yeah,
in the,
full pull-out sleeper sofa.
Yeah, it's
in
it's
this
nice.
cream leather. It's just beautiful. And then 1143. There's a 10-year-old Marathon, one owner with a 6-month warranty. Also a quad slide.
11 years.
Yeah. Great coach. Hardwood floors throughout. Nothing like seeing a couple of quads here for sale. A 10-year-old quad, a 5-year-old quad. Good value in both of these. If you're looking to upgrade, if you're currently in a coach and you're thinking about upgrading, Marathon's got some great pre-owned inventory right now. Also some new inventory. That's what we're sitting in right now, $1297, which is an X3 2020 Marathon. I've got the air on, but if I turn this off,
Makes a difference.
oh, listen how quiet that is.
It's pretty quiet.
Can you guys hear that? No, you can't, because there's nothing to hear. Woo! I love it. Mickey,
Yes.
how are you back there?
Doing great.
Any comments, questions, or softballs you can serve us up?
Yes, we have a question for Dave. So Jim says, some things he's always wondered about, Dave. How do marathon coaches do over mountain passes with and without tow vehicles?
Well, tow vehicle doesn't make much difference because the coach, it's like you don't know a tow vehicle's there unless you got a really, really heavy one or a trailer. The coach is really heavy. It's 55,000 pounds basically. But the Volvo engine that these new ones have do real well. It'll bog down a little bit going up the mountains, but they still get over the mountain faster than any truck. I rarely get a truck that passes me. I usually pass them and some cars when I'm going over the mountains. But yeah, they do real well going over the mountains.
And there's the owner of 1291 and the general, Chloe, making their way over to check on the bus.
Don't honk the horn. Don't honk the horn.
Debbie's got her coffee. Chloe doesn't have her favorite chew sticks, but they are headed over to check on their bus. A lot of you guys know 1291's owners. What else is going on out there, Mickey? That's a good question from Jim.
All right, Reginald would like to know what's the 0 to 60 time.
Oh my goodness, Reginald. Let's.
Reginald also says, salute everyone in the chat. Salute Dave, Mal, Mickey, Marathon Team, and Todd.
I tell you what, if we ever opened up a Las Vegas location, there's no one who's a better ambassador to work with us than Reginald Owens down in Las Vegas. Him and his family, we know them quite well. Mickey introduced all of us to Reginald. Oh, when was that? Is that a year ago?
Oh, it's been at least 2.
Yeah, Reginald Owens knows a lot about marathon, knows a lot about Prevost. So that's a good question from him. The 0 to 60.
What do you think, about 11 seconds?
Yes. Maybe 17. No.
And Murray says, since you're on the road now, he says no 55 miles per hour corners.
Yes.
Dave.
Yeah.
What?
Murray Selesky.
Still okay.
He said this morning, no 55 miles per hour corners.
What does he mean by that?
I know exactly what he means, and I'll tell you.
Okay.
One of the things that Dave does, everybody, and as we're out here on the road here, right here in the Coburg North Commercial Park area, one of the things that Dave does, when you buy a marathon, you get to spend a lot of time with our service department, most notably with Dave taking delivery. And one thing that you get to do is go around some S curves with Dave, and he encourages you to have some confidence in the product,
The way the coach drives.
the way the coach drives, the way the coach is designed. And I think that's what Murray is alluding to, is going around a curve at 55.
Which he did, by the way. He was very surprised that the coach handles so well.
That's fantastic.
And then we have another question. Would we ever ship a coach to the UK? I know we've shipped coaches to a lot of places.
Well, I tell you what, we have. I got an email over the weekend with the same question. If that's the same person asking, the question was, I don't know if you guys can hear it on Todd's mic, but the question is, do we ever ship overseas? Most notably to the question, to the UK. And the answer is yes. We've done it over the 30 plus years of marathon. We've shipped all over the world. And so yeah, email me, malw@marathoncoach.com, and we can discuss it. But yes, we've shipped all over the world.
We have a great question from Paul. As nice as the slides are when they're parked, they can be cramped when retracted. What floor plans or options would you suggest for those more interested in comfort while on the road?
Now that's a great question from Paul. Paul's asking and alluding to the fact that when the slides are in, the hallway or the floor plan becomes cramped, or at least
Tight.
obstructed. Tight. Good word there, Dave. We're headed into the fabulous town of Coburg, Oregon, known for its antique shops, there's a big antique show right after Labor Day, I believe it is, everybody. So if you're ever in the Coburg area and you like antiques like me, it's the place to be. Did I just rhyme? I think that I did. Back to Paul's question. It depends on the floor plan. It depends on quad slide versus double slide. But Marathon's engineers have designed all floor plans so that you can access everything that you need to access when the slides are in. What do I mean by that? Simply put, I'm going to turn right here by Retro Rejuvenation. See if we can buzz by Randy Ellis here. One of the things that you can look at in a Marathon is that you can still access the refrigerator, the cabinetry, the water closet, or the bathroom. Everything is accessible. So as far as being cramped, it's really not that bad. What do you say, Dave?
Yeah, there's several different floor plans that you can get, and you get to pick out what you want. And even if you go down to a non-slide coach, we still do those on a custom order basis. Most of our coaches are double, triple, or quad slides, but you can get a non-slide too. If we've got one on custom order right now that he's going to mostly travel in the coach, not going to stay parked anywhere. So he's getting a non-slide with his family. He's got, 4 children, I believe?
Correct.
Him and his wife and 4 children. And they're getting a non-slide to mostly travel in. So
I'm excited for them. That's gonna be fun.
It's
and
going
that's
to be really nice for them.
That's an X chassis, aren't they building the X? Yes.
X3, non-slide.
That will be an exciting build. I know Jay Graham is working on that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to be something really fun to see that Marathon is putting together. Just kind of driving around, showing you that you can get a 45-foot Prevost Marathon through some tight corners and some tight spots.
We'll see if you can keep from dragging these tree limbs across the top of the coach.
We will avoid the trees, my friends. We will avoid the trees. What else is going on out there, Mickey? I like the question and answer portion.
All right, so Marathon coach owner Jan says hi to everyone and wants you guys to know that she's on the road too between Oklahoma City and Tulsa.
Oh.
And she appreciates the driving tips.
Yeah. Dave, what other tips could you give some people that are out there on the road that are driving? We've got a lot of owners that are watching. What other kind of advice can you give people? What do you look for when you are out there on the road? I've driven with you for several hundred miles, so I know what you do, but tell everybody else.
Miles.
Yeah.
Boy, most of the driving I do is on the freeways, either 80, 40, or 10, going across the U.S. or down 5, or and most of the freeways are pretty clear as far as driving. You can start getting back east, and you get some lower overpasses you have to be careful with. But with the new GPSs on the coaches too, you get you can program it for truck mode, and the GPS will give you warnings to keep away from certain areas, or tell you where the toll area is coming up. I don't usually get into residential areas like this a lot, but when you do, you just be careful not to drag the trees across the side or the top of the coach, and do the best you can to stay away from them. Sometimes you have to take up the wrong lane to stay away from the trees.
A year and a half ago, Dave and I drove a double slide H3 brand new Marathon into Beverly Hills, and boy, I tell you,
it was tight, but we made it.
It was tight, but we made it. That's right. Well said.
We have a comment about Dave from Murray. Dave is great. No fear on the cruise control button. Left my week at Marathon after taking delivery, feeling confident to drive my bus anywhere my GPS would allow. Good job, Dave.
Thanks, Murray.
Murray and Natalie out there in that beautiful coach. That's another thing we could talk about is Murray and Natalie were certainly a case study I'm gonna wait for this flatbed to roll through.
I think he really liked that 45 mile an hour corner at 55.
Yeah. You know, buying a pre-owned Marathon and reimagining it is something that we do quite often at Marathon. And if you look at our service department today, there's several remodels going on. That's because a Marathon and the Prevost chassis are designed to go, if maintained properly. The chassis is designed to go 1,000,000 miles, and Marathon for over 30 years has built the house, meaning everything that we put inside the chassis, everything that goes inside the Marathon, we have built it to mirror image the chassis longevity. So you can reimagine a coach stylistically with appliances, upholstery, all those things very easily. And that one thing about getting it done at a Marathon Service Center, whether it be Florida, Texas, or at the mothership in Coburg, it's really good because that's where the coach was built. That's where the coach is best known. And so to get something done like new flooring, new upholstery, it's
paint job.
Oh my goodness. We're going to be doing a video this morning talking about our paint department. You know, one thing that Mickey was mentioning this morning is that we paint a lot more than just coaches. And we've been talking about 1291's trailer. We paint cars, motorcycles, golf carts,
Bicycles.
bicycles, bike helmets, motorcycle helmets, even all the way down to custom paint jobs on stainless steel coffee mugs. It's all been done at a Marathon paint center, and the crew that we have, I think you guys know it if you're Marathon Monday watchers. It is definitely something that our guys are good at. Well, here we are headed back towards.
We should have stopped and done the 0 to 50 time.
Yeah, we should have.
But too late now.
Reginald would have liked that.
Yeah.
Pull this sled up and down the block.
There you go.
Well, yeah. Anything else, Dave, that catches your eye? When you get out there on the road, what's the safety feature that you rely on the most, that you appreciate the most out of the Prevost chassis?
Oh, I use so many. I use cruise control a lot. I use the mirrors most.
Yes. How's the visibility in a Prevost chassis?
Oh, it's
Dave?
very good. It's the best there is out there. So you can see out of one of these shells better than any other motorhome I know of.
Yeah,
Visibility is really good.
I really have appreciated the visibility of when I get out on the road. Some of the paint guys, it's break time here in Coburg, so driving around the building, you're going to see people walking, you're going to see people outside stretching their legs, having a snack. Can you tell that I've got little ones? I said snack. Have a snack. It's good stuff. Good stuff.
I use lots of snacks when I'm driving the coach.
You do. M&Ms.
M&Ms and gum and.
I'm breath savers, man. I eat breath savers like they're going out of style. Probably. Yeah, I've got one right there.
When I'm chewing on something, it's easy for me to stay awake.
That's right. That's right. All right, everybody. Well, thank you so much for watching Marathon Mondays with Mal and Dave this morning. It's my pleasure to do it every week. And it was also my pleasure to be able and kidnap Dave in here for a little bit of his time and talk and shop. Marathon Mondays is a really neat format, and the only reason that it's successful is because of people like yourself, Dave, who lend their time to doing the show and informing people. So we really appreciate it. I like this one. Good paint job on that.
It's 1079.
You know what? It's 1079.
Mm-hmm.
You know what's funny is
the colors are the same as on 970.
If
959.
If I bought a coach, I'd probably buy an H.
Yeah.
Because I love the look of it. But every time I see an X, I'm drawn to it because of that stainless steel.
I like the shiny stainless steel myself. So.
If you purchased a coach, what would you go, H or X?
I like the X3 chassis, the look of it better, but there's more storage in the H underbelly, so it's a trade-off. I mean, depends on what I'm going to use it for.
Yep. Well, a shout out to all the Marathon employees from all 3 locations. The marketing team, the sales team, the service team, everybody that makes Marathon the best luxury converter in the world. Be yourself and do good things, you guys. I'm striving to do that, and I already had an espresso this morning, so...
Really?
Yeah, oh, man. It's a beautiful thing. Todd, you're the man, brother. Thanks for sitting there and getting us on tape.
My pleasure. Always a pleasure.
Mickey, thank you. Everyone out there watching, thank you. We'll talk to you soon.